It's funny, we were talking about that post-match there in terms of how it affects the kind of mindset for the cup tie, obviously, next week. I know Celtic have got a game in between, but you think of how Celtic finished that game, you think that would give them a lift getting into the cup tie, whereas Rangers are walking away from it thinking, wait a minute, we battered them for 45 minutes, 2-0 up, and still couldn't get the game won. So it'll be interesting, that dynamic when it comes to the cup tie. But in terms of Rangers, Daniel, I said to you just before we came on, I mean, that's 3 wins in the last 8 games. That's no title winning form at all. I mean, they've had 12 draws this season, and I know obviously a few of them at the start of the campaign when it was all going wrong. But as I say, 3 wins in 8 isn't good enough. No, as good as they looked in that first half, you then look at them in the second half, and to me, that's not a team that looks capable of, in this run-in, going to Tynecastle and winning, going to Celtic Park and winning. You might have those 2 games in the space of a week post-split. They've still got Motherwell here. Tough games to go. Do they really look like a side capable of putting a big run of 8-9 wins together? I don't think so. And that will be the worry for Danny Rohl. I mean, the both clubs, Rangers and Celtic now, obviously, this result was, as we say, perfect for Hearts. I think both of these clubs now need Hearts to have a collapse at this point. I mean, when you look at the points, they need Hearts to suddenly start feeling the pressure and coughing up points. But at this moment in time, they just don't look like doing that. I mean, Hearts and Motherwell don't look like conceding a lot of goals for a start. I think I said on here last week, I mean, Danny Rohl and Martin O'Neill keep saying, there's going to be loads of twists and turns. The only twists and turns are coming for Rangers and Celtic. Hearts just keep beating everybody. So I think it's going to be really tough for them. I noticed the bookies have now got Hearts 11-10 favourites. That will be as short as they've been the whole season. Unbelievably, Motherwell are 14-1. I mean, who'd have thought you'd been talking about Motherwell at this stage, still 14-1 to win the title, normally 1,000 to win at this stage. But there's still 4 of them in it, but Hearts are the big favourites. They have to be.
John in the comments, Keith John Jones says it's heartbreaking, but Rangers have lost it. Do you share that view?
Well, I've just said that I don't see them going in a big winning run that's going to get them over the line, Daniel. So I think the days, as I say, a huge opportunity missed by Rangers. And I cannot see this team being champions at the end of the campaign. I think Hearts are favourites. And if you look at the points, if Celtic beat Aberdeen on Wednesday night, you'd have to say probably Celtic are second favourites. So I think it's going to be really tough for both of them, but really tough, I think, for Rangers to come back for us and go and win the league.
What's your take, Scott? Because I thought today was such a big day for the 2 managers. There was a bit of needle going into the game because of Danny Rohl's comments. I was down at Celtic Park to speak to Martin O'Neill on the Friday, and he bit big time. And I thought it was great. As a press guy, you're just walking away, rubbing your hands, going, "Oh, you just love a wee war of words going into an Old Firm weekend." But Martin O'Neill was I think he was significantly annoyed by some of Danny Rohl's comments. I then think that Martin O'Neill got his team entirely wrong. He's starting 11, but makes the big changes at half time. Don't know what he said to the players, but they came out with a completely different mental attitude. From being so passive in the first half, they were really front foot aggressive after the restart. He made changes that changed the entire context of the match itself. And I don't think, and it's not the first time, Scott, I've got to say it, I don't think Danny Rohl's changes made Rangers any better. In fact, they had the opposite effect. He obviously took off Nadiri, which meant he put an extra man into midfield in Diamonde. But I just thought that was a sign that Rangers were trying to hold on to what they got. I thought Celtic got encouragement out of that substitution, because Rangers, to me, looked like a side at that point who just wanted the final whistle. They were trying to hold what they had, and they were prepared to give up territory as well. So I don't think that's a great day at the office for Danny Rohl. I think he's been schooled.
I agree with a lot of what you've said there, Jacko. I think kudos to Martin O'Neill for making the changes at half-time. They had a huge impact on the game. We've touched on Hatate's influence, Maida going up top, and you're right, whatever he said to them, I mean, their attitude was totally different in the second half. I mean, Rangers at the start of the second half had a kind of 3-minute spell where they actually looked as if they're going to go and get the third goal.
They started off just like the first half, that's
they
right.
Did, but once Celtic kind of weathered that and started passing it, Rangers got deeper and deeper. And I agree with you that I think the Rangers fans will be disappointed in Rohl is that, as a manager, when you see a game kind of slipping away for you, you then need to influence it, you need to impact it by doing something to stop that happening. I don't think anything Danny Rohl did today stopped it. As I say, the second goal was coming. Everyone could feel it. Everyone could see it now. What he could have done, you can debate. I mean, you're saying about Diomande coming on. I actually thought, I said to Daniel, when Diomande came on, I didn't think he did shore up the midfield. He almost played high up. I mean, he played just off Chermiti, obviously a different profile to Nadiri. But I felt as if Rangers were still trying to go forward at every opportunity and leaving gaps, where in actual fact, I think if you sense a game is getting away for you and the opposition are on top, he could have probably shored it up even more, and made Rangers a bit more defensive, because as I say, I thought the goal was coming. Celtic were getting far too much joy, picking up every second ball. Nygren was getting loads of space in the kind of number 10 position. He obviously sets the first goal up for Tierney. And whereas Sterling and Romans looked brilliant in the first half for Rangers, weren't letting anything get into the box or get down the sides, suddenly there was crosses coming in for wide. The Rangers fullbacks weren't stopping it. They looked fragile in the centre of defence, whereas they looked solid in the first. So I think you're right when it comes to the two managers. Martin O'Neill probably did get it wrong, picking Adamu up front and Oxlade-Chamberlain over Hatate. With hindsight, I'm sure he'd have done it differently. But he fixed it at half-time, and when he fixed it, and Rangers and Rohl had to react, I don't think the Rangers manager did that, and the players certainly didn't do it well enough.
I'll tell you what else he did, Dan, sorry, but...
No, go on.
See the substitution putting on Forrest, 5 minutes to go, and I know people are looking at say it's 2026 and Celtic are still relying on James Forrest, which is, an issue with recruitment. I get all that, but James Forrest, for me, always looks like he can come on and change a game. Even at 34, he's still rapid over 10 yards, and it's him that gets down that right-hand side, and it's him that floats it was like a sand wedge into the 6-yard box for Maida, which Celtic get the penalty kick. But they're another big decision, a big moment, a big substitution, and ultimately it saved the day for Celtic. James Forrest at that age, at that late stage in the game, I thought he at that moment he'd turned the Rangers defence inside out. When he got to the byline and put that ball into the box, and Rangers were all over the place. They weren't organised. You're
talking about wingers, Jacko. I mean, I think there'll be more scrutiny on Skov Olsen after today. I know he comes up with a really good cross for Chermiti's overhead kick, which was which was great. But I mean, without being unkind to Skov Olsen, I mean, we're clutching at straws now. I mean, we're talking about individual moments in games. I mean, his Rangers career so far, he's had a goal against Kilmarnock. He had an assist in one of the other games. He's obviously got an assist today. I say you're clutching at Striss, a guy that was brought in along with Chukwueze and Romans and Nadiri. These guys were signed in January to get Rangers over the title, to be the difference makers in big games in the running.